Hi, it's Trevor here, and I wanted to record a video for you in case you do not have ChatGPT version 4 or above, because as I record this at the end of November 2023, as you can see from the screen here, OpenAI has paused new subscriptions for it because they just can't meet demand. Basically, ChatGPT 4 Turbo has caused an issue. So if you don't have it at the moment, you can't get it. So I want to show you what you can do instead as a workaround using good old ChatGPT 3.5, the free version that everybody has or everybody can have. So what I've done here, this is you've got this PDF in your members area. This is the entire it's the whole transcript of the entire conversation that I had. So I thought I would show you what happens when you try and do this or whatever your version of the conversation will be, whatever you want to promote, in ChatGPT 3.5, because it's not bad, actually, and we can work around it. So I went to ChatGPT 3.5, as you can see, 3.5, and I just literally copy-pasted in exactly the same prompts because obviously we have to compare like for like. Now, with the first prompt, the results it came up with were actually pretty good, if not slightly better than what ChatGPT 4 came up with. It came up with, if you remember, ChatGPT 4 comes up with, I think, 10 keywords. This one's come up with 15. But it's the next section where we really took advantage of ChatGPT 4's power to research the internet. Now, whereas ChatGPT 4 took 2 or 3 minutes to do this, 3.5 takes 5 seconds to come up with its answers. So it's had some pretty good guesses, but they are guesses. Okay, so and one of the ones where I noticed not a lot of difference, but some difference, was number 3, liver health and weight loss. It comes up with. Now, it says suggested keywords, right? So the first one, I've highlighted the first one because I don't know for sure, but I don't imagine many people are going to go to Google and type in how to boost liver health for weight loss. It's just not a sentence that I imagine many people are going to actually type in. So, but we can still use it, right? So whatever 3.5 comes up with, there are, you could use it as is. I mean, you're going to get some results, but I think we can do better. And in fact, what I'm about to show you, there's nothing to stop you doing it with the ChatGPT 4 method either. It's just that I watched ChatGPT 4, and if you've tried it yourself already, you'll have seen that it actually goes out to the internet and does all the research, does the hard work for you. So we're going to have to do a little bit more work than if we had ChatGPT 4, but not much, and you might like this method either way. So I would keep watching whether you've got GPT 4 or not. So let's go to Google, and we're going to type in that search. And what we can now, I've got Google obviously, but I've also got an extension, a Google Chrome extension, and there's a version of it for Firefox as well. And I've talked about it many times before, so if you've got other programs of mine, you'll have heard me rave about this little thing because, frankly, I worry if they ever take it away, I don't know what I would do, because this thing is an absolute goldmine and lifesaver and time saver as well. And it's called Keywords Everywhere. I think the website's just keywordseverywhere.com. It is free, but I strongly advise you, in fact, I'm telling you really, if you want to use this method, get the paid version. Last time I checked, it was $18 for a year or 100,000 credits, whichever you use sooner. So far, obviously it depends how heavy a user you are, but so far as a one-man band, as a single person, I have never ever used up 100,000 credits in 1 year. So they do expire after a year, so it's going to cost you another $18. But bearing in mind that $18 is cheaper than 1 month of ChatGPT 4, this is the bargain of the century. So it's this little red K in a black circle that I'm highlighting here, and it gives us a lot of data. It gives us this volume, it says 0. Now, sometimes keywords everywhere, if you go to Google itself and type in something that you think probably is a searched for term, it'll still say volume 0 per month. And I'll tell you how we know, because like rapid weight loss, fatty liver, that one says that. What foods help your liver burn fat? So this is quite useful anyway, just clicking on that to see that. Now you can this data is also coming from keywords everywhere, these figures. But some of them you can see have got no figures beside them. And yeah, I'm not going to click them because I want to stick with this one. But those would probably say 0 as well. But it's not 0 because somebody, at least one person, has typed that in because Google didn't invent that. So I think it's less than or fewer than 10 per month searches. But we're not concerned about that right now. That's okay. So you could still go for the keyword as is. You're going to get something, some sort of traffic, but we can do better, bearing in mind, excuse me, what are we going to use to create our content? So before I show you the power of Google, keywords everywhere, let's just do my other favorite thing with keyword research and take this keyword again and go over to YouTube just to see what kind of traffic there really is. So opening YouTube, I'm going to type in exactly the same search term again and search it. And first thing we see is that there is a sponsored advert. Now, it doesn't say anything about liver health up here, but it's clearly nutrition and health related. Arthritis here is the issue. But I'm always encouraged when I see sponsored ads appear for my search, even though there's apparently 0 search volume. That's not going to be correct as such. Sponsored means somebody is willing to thinks that's relevant enough that they're willing to pay money. If I click on that, it will cost this advertiser some money. I'm not interested in clicking on it, so we'll save him or her or them some money. But I'm interested in the organic videos, the regular videos, not the shorts, because the statistics are worked out differently, I think. So what we're looking at here, so first of all, we know that there's traffic that people are willing to pay for, at least for something related. And here, we're just looking at the stats that the good old Google YouTube landing page shows us. So this video, unhealthy liver stops fat loss, foods and solutions to fix your liver, 91,000 views in 6 months. Now, it's not exactly the keyword that ChatGPT came up with, but it's related. It's definitely to do with liver health. It's definitely to do with weight loss. So that's okay. These, by the way, are coming from vidIQ, which is another plugin that I've got, but that's a paid-for plugin that goes with YouTube. So if you don't have that, you won't see these tags, as it were. So we won't rely on those. But you can still get plenty of data from here, right? And over here, we're still getting keywords everywhere giving us data, by the way. So just as a quick flick, 91,000 views in 6 months. You want to look at both those, because if it was 91,000 views in 10 years, it's not so much, is it? But 91,000 views in 6 months is a phenomenal amount of traffic. There's another sponsored, and then 1.3 million views in 3 years. More shorts, another advert. 14-day plan fixes fatty liver in 2 weeks. 959,000 views, getting on for 1 million views in a year. You get the idea. 2.2 million views in 11 months. There is an enormous amount of traffic and interest in this topic, and there is money being spent. So now what we want to do is give ourselves the best chance of creating content around the best keyword. And this isn't going to be it, because it's got a 0 search volume. But we want something that we can hit. So let me show you. Let's go back to Google, and let me show you the power of keywords everywhere. Now, there is this button, Find Long Tail Keywords for this search query, which will do a good job. So if I had just put in liver health, I would click that button, or liver health for weight loss. But how to boost liver health for weight loss is already pretty long tail, and I don't think it's going to help us that much. But what Google is returning, of course, is a lot of organic searches. These are not adverts. These are organic searches. And the one that comes up first is obviously the one that's going to get the most traffic from that search. So after this list is this website, NIH News in Health. It's a .gov website, so it's going to have a tremendous amount of traffic. And look, keywords, this is coming from Keywords Everywhere. Right? We can go to the next one as well. British Liver Trust comes up for me. Keywords, 340. Detoxing your liver, fact versus fiction. Keywords, 1,630. Now, I probably wouldn't go further than the first three, but let's just do the first one and I'll show you. So what you do is you click on the little, actually you hover on it, and then you can see we want these keywords. We don't want this one, otherwise you're going to get a lot of data, overwhelming data, and you don't want this one. You want the keywords. So we know there are 116 keywords. Let's find out what they are. This is things that people are really typing in that brings up this website. So hover over it, click total keywords, and Keywords Everywhere produces this fantastic table. Now we can see real keywords with actual search results that people are looking for. Now it's given us US traffic. This in column 1. This is global traffic. You can also see SERP position, which means if you type in repair fatty liver, especially in the US presumably, you can expect that website to come up top. It'll come up number 3 if you type in how to get rid of a fatty liver, and so on. So it's still going to be, I think it's top 10, maybe more now, but it used to be top 10 or on page 1 anyway. But so we know that's getting a lot of searches. We're not interested so much in the website. We're interested in the keyword. How to get rid of a fatty liver is a fantastic keyword. Ignore the green highlighting, by the way. That is the way I've set up Keywords Everywhere for my own use is to do with, I set parameters for maximum and minimum search volume. Because I think that with one of my YouTube channels, I can target keywords within that range and have a good chance of ranking. But yours won't look like that unless you set it up, use the settings. But yours will all be in white. But you can see 5,400 a month is pretty decent. I mean, 1,000 a month is roughly 30 searches a day, 30 days in a month. So 5,400, about 150 plus searches a day. That's pretty decent and not so overwhelming that you're going to get lost in the crowd. The trend's pretty steady as well. It says -4%, but I wouldn't worry about a little dip like that. In a search like this, people are always going to be worried about having a fatty liver, I imagine. That's not going to go away anytime soon. And so how to lose weight with fatty liver disease is a long, very long tail, but it's there. Not a lot of traffic, but actually you could probably beat that, 390. So you could, if you used that as a title of a video or a blog post or both, and got ChatGPT to write your content, you're probably going to get some traffic over time. A little steady drip of traffic, which is what you want, and you just keep doing more. What I would do with that is I would get ChatGPT 4. We're not having 4, are we? I would get, you can do it on Canva now, get it to create an image. So you just, I don't know, I'd type in something like someone happy because someone sitting in front of their dining table happy because they're full and losing weight, something like that, and it will come up with an image. And then add that to Pinterest, and send traffic to back to your blog post or content video, whatever you've used, and then you would you'll know. You send it from there to the offer you're promoting. So that is essentially how I would use ChatGPT 3.5 to get the workaround. As I say, it's a little bit more work. You can do the same, as I said, with ChatGPT 4. You can still do that extra research, get those extra layers of research on the keywords, but mostly do the same prompts as I showed you for GPT 4. Then check it in, choose one of the keywords it comes up with. This is obviously the second prompt of the conversation, but it is guessing here. You can't be sure that these are going to get you traffic. So you need to go and check it out. So first thing I did was go to YouTube, and you can see, you know, the kind, even if you don't pick up these tags here, the kind of keywords that are getting traffic. But then use keywords everywhere. Just install it on your Chrome or Firefox browser. You will need one of those browsers. Pay the $18 to get your 100,000 credits. Each one of these keywords is a credit, by the way, and 100,000 is an awful lot of keywords. It will take you a long time, or a lot of searches, to use them all up. And even if you do, it's $18. So there you go. That's how I would work around that. Hope that's helpful. Good luck. Go forth. Use this. Make money. This is gold. See you soon.